Good evening. This is Elvire Theron on Wellness Coaching. This is session number 11. And I'm super excited tonight because we're going to talk about one of my favorite things to do in this world. So I have a very special guest with us tonight here on the program. And we have decided to do this wellness coaching because I'm into personal development and I wrote a book, Let's Grow. And for those of you that doesn't have the book yet, kindly just send me your email and I'll send you a free ebook. And it's all about growing. Here at Wellness Coaching, we are just in. If something is dead, it will just stagnate, nothing will happen. And tonight, we are dealing with the wheel of life. We've covered so far relationship with God and relationships with your family members, personal development, health and fitness, finances. And tonight, we are at a very exciting topic, which is fun, leisure, and recreation, including travel. And we still have romantic relationships left next week. So next week is our 12th session and it will be the last session. Now, I can't wait to hear the story of the lady that's on board with us tonight. Her name is Nosy Masela. And she is a flight attendant in South African Airways. And I've just kind of met her or talked to her 2 days ago, and I've just met her now on Zoom. So she's a friend of my friends Dorcas and Joshua. We're actually in the same kind of travel business at the same time. So I just met a new colleague as well. And then we have my lovely friend and daughter, Valencia, with us. Now, tonight, I can feel the vibe in this place because I know the kind of people that's tonight together. We are just into traveling. If I had a lot of money, I think that's the only thing I would have been doing. So, Federica, kindly share the link, invite your friends, because after this session, you will book a ticket because soon the borders will open. We're trusting for great things that's happening. So this is not the end of the world, by the way. We are just stepping into a complete new era. And that's why you need to get ready because after this, we're going to see the world. So just get ready, get a pen and a notebook because we're not sure what marvelous values and truth and excitement is going to come. I would like Valencia, just say hi to our viewers and just introduce yourself, Valencia.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Valencia, and I'm joining you guys from Swakopmund. I am enthusiastically waiting to hear more of one of my favorite things to do, leisure. I love traveling. I love the idea of going somewhere. And I think if I had a lot of money, nobody would ever see me.
Yeah. No, I believe, Valencia and Nosy, that we should live our best lives now. And life is all about fun and adventure. You should color your world. Don't just live a boring life. Do something, go out, do something great. I want to give over to Nosy Marcella that's going to introduce herself and tell us more about herself before she takes us on a flight tonight. All right, Nosy, welcome on board.
Thank you very much, Elvire, for that beautiful introduction. And thank you, Valencia. It's going to be an exciting flight. I hope everyone is ready to buckle their seatbelts and be ready for us to fly away to far away. I'm so happy to be here and so excited. Elvire, thank you so much for having me. To start off, I'd just like to share a bit of background about me. As you said, yes, I'm a flight attendant. with our national carrier SAA. But my story starts way back when I was a young girl, and my mom used to always tell me, dream big. I never fully understood what she meant by dream big, but I was one who loved to read, and I used to see faraway lands when I used to read different kinds of books, and I just used to get myself lost in books. And it started opening my eyes and opening my imagination to the places that are out there. And I think, like most kids who come from very humble beginnings, I used to just think that the closest I'll get to an airplane is just waving at it up in the air as it passes by and say, bye-bye airplane, bring me biscuits and sweets. You know, anyone who comes from very humble beginnings knows that as you are in the rural areas, that's all you could, that's how far you thought that airplane life could be from you. Luckily, I had a mom who really wanted the best for me. My mom was a domestic worker, and we came from very humble beginnings, but she knew that when they say the world is your oyster, the world literally is your oyster. And she just used to speak great affirmations into my life. And as I went through school, I got to go on an airplane the first time when I went from Durban to Cape Town. So I was a trompopi, a drum majorette. And when I was in standard 6, I believe, no, standard 5 for those back in the day, grade 7 for those now. When I was in grade 7, I got to go to from Durban to Cape Town. I did not sleep a wink before that trip. I was so excited that I was going to be going now in the very plane. And all I wanted to see was, did the plane really have sweets and biscuits? Because I believed that's what it had, because I was always just thought, that's why we always used to say, bye-bye airplane, bring me sweets and biscuits. And I remember that trip like it was yesterday. I mean, the excitement of actually seeing this huge, like bird just sitting there, tin bird that we went into, and then having to buckle our seatbelts, and then the takeoff was amazing. It was just a 2-hour trip from Durban to Cape Town. And I think that with our drummy squad, there must have been about 35 girls who were squealing, and it was just the most exciting, most electrifying experience I'd ever had. And when I came back from that, hooked. I was hooked. I was like, yo, life in the air is beautiful. I was like, that is it for me. I've got to get myself back in that. And I mean, as I say, I came from humble beginnings. For some of my friends that were flying with me, for them, just taking a trip to Cape Town wasn't much. But yeah, so that was my first domestic trip, and that's where I got hooked to flying. When I finished school, my first job, I started working in an ad agency, and I was in advertising for a long time. And an opportunity came for me to go join a local airline called Nationwide. And I literally had that dream that I used to have as a small kid come back to life. When I saw a newspaper clipping that they were taking flight attendants with this airline, I was like, leave my secure job, or do I go and fly? And it came back when my mom used to say, dream big. It came back to me. And I mean, by this time I'd gone through school and I was out of school, I was an adult, and you know, life knocks you down, and sometimes you put your dreams away, and you put the life you've always dreamt it away because life knocks you down. And I said, this is an opportunity for me to actually live. And I went and I joined and I became a flight attendant. And a few years later, I got to start flying with SAA. And that's where I had my first international trip.
Wow.
2 years of doing domestics, then I got to go international. My first international trip with SAA was to Paris.
Wow, lovely.
And but that was, it took me right back to when I was a little girl, and that excitement of going on that trip to Cape Town, the excitement of going to Paris now was like, this is a new world that I'm going to go and explore. You know, I was like wondering, like, what do the people look like there in Paris? And I remember the only thing I wanted to see was the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
I was like, they say it's the city of love. And there's the Eiffel Tower. And if you see the city of love and you see the Eiffel Tower, love will come. Like, that's what my mind was like. And I remember very clearly my first trip to Paris, there was two of us who were new on that flight, who were new crew members. When we landed in Paris, I realized that I had not packed well. No one had that it was winter in Paris. Only just before I opened the doors, did they say it's pretty cold? And I was like, really? I was like, no, I'm a Durbanite, and now I've gotten used to the Joburg cold. If I can handle Joburg cold, I can handle cold in Paris. I was so wrong. They opened those doors, and there were flakes coming from the sky because it had started to snow. I tell you, on that froze. I froze. The warmest thing that I had in my bag was just one light jacket. I literally had to put on a shirt over another shirt, and then put the jacket over. I had probably about 5 or 6 layers of clothing for me just to be able to go out to go and get food. And I had such a wonderful crew. They were like, no, let's go out. I'll go show you. You can go and see Paris. I remember stepping out of the hotel, and myself and Echnes, who was the other crew member that was new, we looked and we could see the Eiffel Tower far, far away. And, you know, it was so beautiful and so majestic standing there in the sky, like far away. But then I thought, it's snowing and it's freezing. My ears were ringing. Like, I was like, there's no ways I'm making the trek to the Eiffel Tower. I was like, I'll see the Eiffel Tower some other time. I just need food and I just need to get back to my room. And we went out looking for food. I was holding on to him so tight because I was so cold. And we went out, and on the streets, they have these little carts where they make crepes. Oh, now I'm a lover of good food, which is one of the reasons why I love traveling. And you get these crepes, you're sitting there and your hands are freezing. They make these crepes on the side of the road in these like little like stalls. And then on the crepe, like they put what you want. And with our little understanding of French, all we could say was fromage and champignon. Champignon being mushrooms and fromage being cheese. And they put that on our crepe, and then they gave it, which is like a warm pancake type thing. But it was savory, warm pancake. I tell you, that was one of the most divine meals I've ever tasted.
Wow.
Every time I went back to Paris, that was what I would eat. But I froze on that trip. So a tip for anyone that wants to travel, make sure that you check what the weather is like wherever you're going. And even if you're going to a place and they say that it is, make sure you pack something cold, like something warm. If they say the weather is hot there, make sure you pack something warm. From that day, I've always had a jacket in my bag wherever I travel, and I've always had a scarf. Because with those two, it's wonderful. And if you're going to a place where they say that it's cold, always make sure you have something light as well, because the weather always changes. So always make sure that you've got yourself accommodated for should the weather not be what you expect it to be. So that was like a very good learning curve for me, that always have something. And I don't like cold weather. So no, I battled. Like my nose, I remember my nose felt like it was going to fall off. It was so cold. So that was my first international trip. And it just, from then, I was like, I want to see more of the world. Like I went back to Paris after that.
Wow, great.
Much better in the summertime. Paris is much better. It's much better in the summertime. And literally, it's so true that it's the city of love in spring. It is beautiful. It is so wonderful. There's just a magical quality about Paris. It actually became one of my favorite places to go to. And thanks to our rostering, I ended up going there like almost every single month while we had Paris. I also had the privilege of going there in 2007 when we had, 2000, I can't remember which World Cup it is, but we had World Cup in Paris, and the Springbok team was playing against England. It was wonderful to be a South African watching it live in Paris.
Yeah.
I was in my green and gold, so proudly in Paris. I was like, yes. So it's wonderful. And it's always nice when you travel you meet new people all the time. And that's one thing I've learned. One of the other tips I say, if you do go to Paris, don't speak English. I would speak Afrikaans for them to be able to help me. I say Afrikaans praat, mense sal jou help. But if you speak English, people would be like, because of the histories of past. So I've experienced. And as I said, food, I love exploring the food in different places. I call it the French fête cook, which is the croissant, is now one of my favorite foods. And since then, with work, I've traveled to Bombay, which is one of my favorites simply because, as I said again, I love good food. I would literally, on the flight from South Africa to Bombay, I would be in my mind planning what I'm going to eat.
Wow.
Yes, that's how much I love my food. I'd be planning what I'm going to eat when I get to Bombay. Like, I just love the food is so good. And the people are so friendly as well. And obviously the shopping is great there as well. The shopping in Bombay is wonderful. I've had great experiences there. I've been to Perth, Australia. I've been to Windhoek.
Yeah.
Germany.
Okay.
By the time I get on a plane, right, I'm planning what I'm going to be doing and where I'm going to be going and what I'm going to be seeing. One of the funnest places I went to was actually Argentina. And I got to go and see where they had, where they used to do like tango dancing. Like they do tango shows like live. And it's beautiful to travel. Like it opens your world to so many things. So that is traveling with work. For those that think that traveling is far away from them, might be a dream that seems far away, but anyone can travel. Nowadays, it's easier to travel more than ever. I know a lot of us are sitting in lockdown at the moment, and we're like, you can't be talking about travel with the borders are closed. But as you said, Elvira, borders are going to open soon. And with us sitting in lockdown, I feel like lockdown has got me, I've been in an incubation period where I've been thinking about life and I've been thinking about my life and what I want to do with my life. And I've added more places that I want to go to thanks to this. Because I've really, I need to be living my life. So on my bucket list, I've still got places like Italy. I want to go and eat pizza in Italy. I mean, it's one thing to eat pizza and pasta in South Africa, but I want to go eat made. I want to go there. I want to go see those beautiful buildings that they've got there. I want to go to Venice and go sit there on one of those gondolas and just be treated like royalty. You know, I want to take my kids to Disney. They need to go and see Disney. So I'm also, so with having my dreams reignited with my traveling for work, I joined a travel club and as Elvira said, so I'm also an affiliate with the Travel Club. And with it, I've been able to go to places like Greece. I went to Greece for a friend's wedding, and yeah, that place is beautiful. Like in Greece, you sit and you're like, this is what tranquility feels like. This is what peace to the soul feels like. Like in Greece, like I just felt like I was with one with the earth, with the world. Like I was just in. It's so tranquil and so beautiful, and you just want to just sit and just stare at God's beautiful creation and just be like, yes, Lord, yeah, you've done wonders. But also just around our borders as well. I went on one of my best holidays. Was with one of my best friends. I took her to Victoria Falls for her birthday, and we went to Victoria Falls and we got to go and zip line across the falls.
Lovely.
You know, when you go to places, you need to explore and have adventure there.
Yeah.
And it was a wonderful. And then we went and we did the tour of the falls. That roar of Victoria Falls, and seeing that wonder that Victoria Falls was absolutely amazing. Like you sit there and you're like, wow. Like it's so beautiful. It's so different to seeing it in pictures. It is so different. Like you need to actually be there and experience it and be at one with it. Have those showers of the falls fall on you. And it's wonderful. We also got to do at Victoria Falls, we also got to do a cruise on the Zambezi. Absolutely wonderful. I've gotten to go on safari in Kenya, a beautiful place called Nyeri in Kenya, where I got to go out on safari. I was like, wow, I can go on safari right here in South Africa. No, I want to explore somewhere different. So I went to Kenya. I've been wanting to go to Kenya, but I always miss the times when there's lots of nice things happening. So I saw that there was a trip and there was a safari trip to Kenya, and I stayed in this place. They call it Safari Castle, and it's like I felt like a queen because it's like you're living in your own like little castle chalets that are like castles there, and it's beautiful to travel, guys. Like there's so much to see in this world, and there's so much to experience. And the thing I found with my traveling, I've traveled with my friends, I've traveled with my family, I've made amazing memories with my colleagues all over the world. The one thing that I love about it, like even now as I'm reliving my travel experiences, you can hold on to those memories.
Yes.
And I feel like for any family that wants to just bond, that wants to just connect, the best thing is to travel. When you get out of your comfort zone and you go and explore a new place, it's amazing what it does to relationships, whether it's relationships or whether it's romantic relationships or whether it's family bonds. Those memories that you have are for a lifetime. I speak to my kids, and when they tell you about the trips we've been on and they replay those trips back, you see their faces lighting up. It like gives you something to look forward to. So I would say to anyone who's sitting out there and you are thinking about your life right now in quarantine or in lockdown, just start planning and start dreaming again. Because I think as kids, we dream of all these faraway lands we want to go to. But as we grow up, life seems to knock us and we put them away and we think, I will never get to do that. The world is there for us to enjoy. Like God's creation is amazing. And there's so much of it for us to explore and enjoy and still do. I mean, there's a lot to see out there. And creating bucket lists for you by yourself, but also with you and your family. It also helps, I feel like with my kids, creating bucket lists with them. It gives them things that they can dream about. And it helps as well when you are going through tough times, like a lot of people are going through now, when you've got things you can dream and look forward to, it makes whatever you're going through like doable. You can get through it because you know there's hope on the other side. There's something exciting that awaits you. There's so much to see and do out there. I've still got a lot that I want to see and do out there. So anyone that's thinking of traveling, it's doable. Find a travel club. If you'd like to private message me, I can tell you about my travel club as well. There's ways you can travel in groups. You can explore places by yourself. I've had some trips where I've gone just by myself because I just needed some time to just reset myself. A trip just to go away, and right here in South Africa, going to the Drakensberg. Just that going to travel there and just exploring, sitting there out in the mountains and just resetting your mind and resetting yourself. When you come back to your loved ones or to your workplace, you just find that people normally say that I'm glowing when I'm back from a trip. People are like, you're glowing. That's because I've just got a new excitement in life that I've gotten from my travels and seeing places. And whoever tells you that travel is expensive, tell them no. Anything is doable if you put your mind to, and there's always ways that are affordable. And you can always start at a level that you can afford and do trips that you can afford, and then work up to the 5-star, 6-star, 7-star luxury that some of us dream of getting to. But if you don't start, you'll never see how beautiful this world is and the amazing creations and stuff that are there. That first trip of mine going to Cape Town, I think it just opened my world to the possibilities that are out there. And from there, I'm so grateful, and I feel so blessed that I've been able to travel and see amazing things out there. So that's my story. And I'm just saying, everyone, write down places you want to go to and make it happen. But it starts by you writing down the dreams that you have in your heart of where you want to go, what you want to see, what you want to experience, because we only have one life that we live. So live it. Don't just exist. Live it. So much to do out there. And some people might be saying, but there's bills and this to pay. Yes, if you've got something exciting that you can think of that awaits you, like a trip that you're planning somewhere, anything that you encounter, obstacles that come through life, they just seem so much easier. So that's me. I don't know if you have any questions for me, but yeah, life is good when you see in the world and you travel. There's a Zulu saying that says, "Ukuhamba kukubona," which is basically to travel is to see and to open up your mind to the world. And that is very, very true. That's exactly what traveling does.
That is awesome, Nosy. Thank you so much for sharing with us that lovely experiences. As you are talking, I can see myself in Paris, in Rome, in Venice, in Perth. You know, I could just travel with you as you were talking. I would like to know, as you are traveling, how do you experience different cultures? What's the excitement of different cultures?
Oh, I love it. As I travel, I like experiencing the different cultures out there, because I think what it's taught me along the way is that people are the same everywhere. We all laugh the same. We all cry. We all hurt. We all have joy. And I've loved experiencing people in different settings and seeing the different cultures out there. Often I think when we see cultures from afar, we don't fully understand them till we get to immerse ourselves in them and get to go and explore them. I think, for example, when I used to first think of Brazil, I used to just think of beaches, pretty people with no imperfections, and that was it. And when I first got to go to Brazil, and we went to Sao Paulo, I saw places that were similar to home as well. There were people that
Wow.
were living in poor life like settings, and then there were people that were living in rich life settings. But all of the same, all that people have, they're all the same. People all want the same things in life. When you get to know people, you find they have the same hurts, they have the same pains, they have the same joys as I do from here in South Africa. And it's actually so nice when we go, often when we go to different places, I like meeting and making friends everywhere. And it all just starts with a simple hi and a smile. Like a smile is the same in any language. Same as
Awesome.
a cry is the same in any language. A simple hi and a smile to people. It's so beautiful when people don't know your language or they're trying to speak English and they are battling to speak English, but you can see they want to know more about you. So they like will battle through that English, whether it's got a French accent behind it or Portuguese accent behind it or a Spanish accent behind it. And you also then will find ways and things to connect with them about. And you then find that you are all the same, just from different backgrounds. And as you learn about different people's backgrounds, we find that we all go through the same hurts and pains, and we all want to experience life and live a good life. Most people just want to live a good life. And one things that I also like to do when I go to experience different cultures, I go back to my food. I always like to try new foods because
Really?
you get to connect with people through their food. There's no place. It was my first trip, my first holiday to the UK. I went to go visit a best friend of mine from school days, and she lived in England. And when I got there, I said to her, I want a scone from every place I go to while I'm here in the UK. And literally wherever we went, I would order a scone. And they'd have the scone, and then they have the jam, and then they have the cream. And every little village we would go and visit, they would have the cream there, and the scones would taste different everywhere.
Wow.
But came back after 2 weeks of being in the UK, I was like a round emoji. And you can see my face is already round, right? But like I literally was like a rolling ball because I'd eaten so much scones. Because I was like, everywhere I went, I was like, what is your food? What is the food you have? Like in the UK, I love having battered fish and mushy peas. They must have the mushy peas with battered fish. When I'm in Bombay, I have to have a curry and I have to have naan bread, garlic naan with cheese. When I go to, when I go to Argentina, they like their meat. So you got to experience the meat that they have there. When you go to different places in Africa, the different vegetables that they have, when you experience the food that people eat,
Mm-hmm.
for me, it's always the best way I connect with people. When I sit with them and then I get to really get into their culture through their food. And it's always nice to share food with people, then you can share experiences and live with them. And the caipirinha, if you ever go to Brazil, sorry. Caipirinha and pão de queijo, which is like cheese bread. Oh, very nice.
Ooh. And now there's so many places we're going to travel to because of that food. I think when I travel, one of the challenging things for me is the food, especially traditional foods, you know. Then
But you need to try a little bit.
yeah, no, surely I have to try because people get offended if you don't try. But you know, you get some really, really strange food out there. So
True.
I want to know, Nozi, as you were traveling, what did it do to your view of the business world? Because I remember if I go to certain places, suddenly I begin to see businesses that's not back home here, or I see ways of doing business and I think, wow, maybe we could also try that. What new ideas, business ideas that you get hold of?
Like I said, you know, to travel is to open your mind up, and it's lovely when you see the way people do things differently. Like in China, for example, I find the Chinese are very good with business, and even when you go to like their night markets, you see how they do businesses there. You see how people take their business and how they take it seriously, even the smallest of ideas. I think often we might think an idea is small and not run with it. But I've loved seeing that other places, the smallest ideas, people take seriously, and then they invest in it. And the other thing that I've loved is seeing and learning is that people invest a lot in their own products or their home, um, like home. They support their home businesses
Yeah.
that are that support the stuff that they have. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the chocolate in Ghana, like it's amazing. The shea butter in Ghana, people are proud of it. The
Yeah.
material all over Africa, people wear the traditional material that they have when they go to meetings, and you can see that if they come up with an idea of something, they go with it, and they don't think that just because this is an idea from home, it won't go international. They think big. So they start off
Oh,
small with whatever business, and they support local support. And then from there, it is able to then spread. So I think it's very important that even we support our local business first, so that people who start off with small ideas, those small ideas can grow. And then they'll be able to take them abroad and to different shores.
hmm, that's amazing. I love that. Valencia, do you have any questions for Nosy?
Yeah. With you as we were taking off and getting our passport stamped and all. I I find that when I travel, the food is one of the scariest experiences. One, because I have a lot of allergies when it comes to food, but also it's so unknown. And I have recently actually realized I like to have a bit of normalcy. Like something should look familiar in order for me to feel good. So I think one of the things I experience a lot is having like a culture shock the first couple
Mm.
of days. And I just wanted to know, like, have you ever had experiences where you come to a country? It's not that you're not mentally prepared for it, like you're excited to go, you can't wait for it, and then you get there, and it's like you have a moment where the culture shock is real. And what is some of your culture shock experiences been?
Um, I think I have a friend, one of my colleagues. She's also similar to you. She also likes to have something that she can relate to.
Yeah.
So she tells me that she always orders chips. She says every country,
So
potato,
familiar.
same. So she'll have chips. If she can't find something that she can eat anywhere, she'll order chips. She knows how to say chips or fries everywhere. She says chips will never do you wrong. The potato is a staple that will always be on your side. So that's a tip. If you want to go somewhere and you're thinking, I don't know if I'm going to try any of this food, order chips. Then you can always have the chips when you think I can't eat any of the other stuff.
Mm.
That's a tip for you can use. Um, I think I've had so many culture shocks. My first time to Bombay, that was really a culture shock for me. And I was just blown away by how people live their lives there and how content people are wherever they are in their lives. And that's a lesson that I've learned. Like they're content with themselves wherever they are in their lives, no matter what class they're in. But also, I think when I went to Hong Kong for the first time, because when I went to Hong Kong for the first time, first of all, the time change got me because there's a 6-hour time change with South Africa. So when you feel like you should be awake, your body's telling you should be sleeping. And you feel like you should be sleeping, your body's telling you should be awake. Like outside, it's so that jet lag, the first time I went there was hectic. And also just seeing, like in my mind, as I said, like reading for me had always prepared me for the world out there, that there's differences. And I was excited about going to see the different places and stuff. But I think I had read a lot of old books about Chinese. I did not expect it to be so metropolitan and have people like running around, and they would actually like be traffic lights and things that are like top of the range cars and beautiful things. And so when I first got to China, and I was like, wow, there's a lot to take in. And there's a hustle and bustle about it. And it's the same kind of hustle and bustle as well in New York. New York for me is like, it's got a bit of an energy that's like electric in it. There's like, it's always hustling and bustling and movement. And it's exciting, but you need to just be like, okay, there's lots of people, there's people everywhere around. When I'm in China, it's like that. It's like, oh, there's people moving around everywhere. And it's so funny when I took a friend who went with me to China for the first time, she was like, I'm seeing so many Chinese everywhere. I was like, that's because we're in China. That's why you're seeing so many Chinese. There's many around you at home. And so you go to places, when you go there and you're hit by the culture shock of being wherever you are, just take a moment, breathe it in, and say, let me explore what there is. If you do that, you will see like the people are the same as you are. They're just in a different world. Like they're just in a different place. And they just do some things differently from you. And you can learn from them and they can learn from you. And once you start learning from others and taking in from others, you see that, as I said, we're no different. And then the culture shock is not so bad. It's like, okay, I can do this. Let me actually try something other than just chips.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar. Chips and steak. I remember there was a time I went to Thailand and the food is full of water. And it's just, I just don't like that long sauces. So then I would opt for chips and steak.
Like,
it's safe. But
and
I
bread
want,
is a good staple as well.
yeah.
Bread. Mm.
Yeah, I want to know, Nozi, what's the difference for you in traveling alone and then traveling in a group? What's the difference for you? What can you do when you're just alone? And then how is it in a group?
I think that I love the traveling alone because I get to totally just do whatever comes to mind. Often when I do trips alone, I just need to get out of whatever space I'm in, and I just need to be in a new space. Maybe I just need to renew my mind, or I just need some new ideas for my business. And so when I get to wherever I'm going, I can then just say, what do I feel like doing? And whatever I feel like doing is what I do. And if I want to explore something different, I get to do it without having to consult anyone. However, with that said, when you travel with a group, whether it's friends or whether it's family, you get other people that you can then share in your memories. Other people can share in the memories with you. Other people who can share in the moment with you. And that is lovely to have. And that, as I said, it just strengthens whatever bonds you have. I found that even when I've traveled in a group and there's maybe one or two people that I don't know well, it is through experiences and through moments that we have along our travels that we create bonds. And that's the nice thing about being in a group, is that you get to share experiences with other people. But it's also nice to have those trips where you do by yourself, where you get to just be able to choose what you want to do and you don't have to consult anyone.
Yeah.
And also about group is that you also have other people who will come up with other ideas. Whereas by yourself, whatever you've got is what you've got.
Yeah. And have you experienced when you go alone that you find yourself just walking in the street, not with any particular plan, and you go with the flow? If you want to turn left, if you want to go in there, and what is the satisfaction of you just, just going with the flow, following your heart? Uh,
I love that because you get to experience, you always find gems along the way. You just experience different things. And also, I'm a people watcher. So I enjoy just watching people in the spaces of wherever I am. I know it sounds weird, but it is so nice to just watch people somewhere and you're like, I wonder where they're going. I wonder what they're like. And then you also have that, hey, Valencia. Like,
Yeah.
you just wonder about other people and just explore. And then as you go, as you say, Elvire, sometimes when you just have got no plan at all, you can find yourself going into a restaurant maybe to go and eat something. And then the next thing, there's some nice music, and before you know it, you're dancing and you're meeting other people. And then you go from that and you're like, wow, I had a lovely experience. I've just had a lovely time, but by myself, but with other people. So you can, when you do that, it can also just lead you to just meeting other people that you wouldn't have met. Even if you were in a group, you get so comfortable in a group that you don't meet other people or don't get to do other experiences. And I just love the solitude of just when I'm by myself, like if I go somewhere and there's a beach, I just walk onto the beach, where, the sun setting, and just have that time to just reflect and think and just have my devotional or have a moment where I'm just at peace and tranquil. And so that's also great. You can have those moments when you travel and you see different spaces.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm traveling with you as you are talking. I love the sunsets and the beaches of the world. What is the one souvenir that wherever you go, we will always look for that particular thing because you want to bring something like that home? Do you have a souvenir like that?
Yes. So it used to be mugs.
Mugs.
Okay.
Mugs,
Yes. But then I found that when people come to visit my house and they see a nice mug, then they want to use it. I myself, like I'm a bit of an Omar who wants to like put it like in the cabinet and say, don't touch these mugs. So I thought, that's mean for my visitors. So now I collect magnets.
Okay.
Magnet is really nice. You just put it on your fridge, and whenever you go past and see it, it tells a story of where you've been. So I love collecting magnets. Wherever I go, I'll get a magnet of that place. You can find little courier shops around or at markets or even at the airport just before you leave. You'll be able to find a little magnet with either the flag of the country, or other magnets have got multiple uses. So they'll also have like a notepad attached to them so you can write on this stuff. So my fridge, you'll see, has got a lot of magnets from different places all over the world.
Awesome.
Great gift as well, because it's also, you can also just stick it like in your purse, or you can stick it in like your bag. So magnets are nice. You can buy like a few of them and then give them as gifts to friends and family when you've come back from wherever you've been. So magnets are my thing, but that's my go-to now. And yeah, no one breaks it because no one drinks from it.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love getting a book from every place I go to, so I'm sure. So in that book, I'll write where I bought it and which place, but also the date. So whenever I see the book, you know, but obviously magnets and all those stuff, because I also like buying and coming and come and give to other people. Valencia, do you have another question for Nosy?
No, I'm just enjoying the travel session. It feels nice to be out there, touching the sand again of other countries.
You know?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, interesting question. So I experience a lot of times when I'm visiting other countries, you get this thing where people sort of forget you're not from the country and start speaking a native
Oh,
language with you. Has that happened with you before?
hmm.
Plenty of times. Plenty of times. Plenty, plenty of times. And, you know, and I love it. And you just try a little bit of the language if you can. Otherwise, you say, don't understand. Don't understand. And as I said, language in a lot of countries is the same. A smile is a smile everywhere you go. Cry is a cry everywhere you go. When you go like this, people seem to understand it. Like, I don't understand.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was Ethiopia. People will just think that we are from there, you know.
Oh.
So every second one wants to speak to me the language they're speaking there. Um,
And
uh,
you don't understand it.
okay, I have another question, and if there's a viewer out there watching right now, if there's any question that you like to ask, now is the time. You can just type it out, and I'll ask Nosy, and we'll take it from there. But let's say there's somebody watching and thinking, you know, I don't have the money right now for a plane ticket or a holiday somewhere else. But at the same time, you know, sometimes life gets so busy and we just go through the motions. It's been 2 years or so that the person haven't even gone on holiday by himself or even with his family. What is your advice? Let's say we can't go to Paris right now. Maybe we can go to the coast or wherever. So I would like you to inspire people to explore even the options in their
Yeah.
own environment. So yeah, just talk a little bit about that.
I'd say number one, Elvira, is I really believe in writing things down. Write down the places you want to go to. Write down the things you want to see, you know, because once you write it down, you can then speak life into it and you can speak it out till the time is right for you to go. Because like I said to you, you know, life happens and sometimes we 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 forget the dreams we had as kids. But if you've got it written down or you remember, oh, I wish I had a chance to go to Spain, or one day I want to go to Mauritius or Madagascar. If you've written it down, then you will keep going back to it, and eventually the time will come where you will be able to do that thing. By you speaking life into it, I think then it can come to pass. And then also I'd say, just if you really want to go somewhere, you can also just put money aside little by little. Start off small. There's something that happens to you when you get out of the space you're in and you go to another space. Like I said, for me, just going to the Drakensberg or going just to Durban, it changes my mindset, and it just helps you reset and be more excited about life. And you can just start small. There's so many ways in which you can do it. And the company that I'm affiliated with, we've got an awesome app that allows people to travel from having not very much and be able to travel at wholesale price. And then for also those that travel with the 5-star kind of lifestyle. So there are things out there, and if you want it, you can have it. You've just got to want something bad enough for it to one day be. See yourself there. Like now, I'm not seeing myself in lockdown anymore. I'm already picturing myself on the beach somewhere where it's warm weather, a nice drink, snacks. Yeah, good snacks, food. exploring, meeting new people from somewhere. Yeah, a nice coconutty drink. Yes. Yeah.
You know?
Valencia, you with me, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree that in our minds, we're not in lockdown.
Yes.
We are free. We can go any place we want to go to. Is there any language that you would love to learn?
Well, actually, I did a trip to Portugal, to Lisbon. And when I went to Lisbon, I fell in love with the place. Like I fell in love with the place. I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the food. Like the people in Portugal are beautiful. Male, female, everyone is beautiful. Like it's so like it's I fell in love with the place. And then I fell in love with the language. I always thought like
Wow.
the language of love was Xhosa. No, it's even French. It's Portuguese. Yes, it's Portuguese. When they speak Portuguese, I was like, wow, just ask for tea. Okay. It's beautiful. Like I fell in love with Portuguese. So I decided I'm gonna learn Portuguese. And I came back
Wow.
and I started learning Portuguese. I went and got myself the dictionary, those self-help tapes. I enrolled at UNISA to do Portuguese and
Wow.
back a bit. When it was time to write the exam, doll, that language is hard. So
Yes.
I need help. I need to actually do classes. So I actually went and did French classes so I can learn Portuguese. So I can speak a little bit of French now because I've studied at Alliance Française. So I could learn French, so I could learn Portuguese. I know. So I know beginner's French, and I'm on my way to learning Portuguese. It's a long
That is
way. It's,
that is amazing.
I
Valencia,
fell in love with language.
yeah, Valencia is getting excited because she also wants to speak Portuguese. For me, it's
Yes.
Spanish. Yeah, for me,
Spanish is your language.
yeah. The way it sounds and the pronunciations, it's amazing.
And
Um,
I get so excited when I'm on the plane and someone says something in Portuguese, or even if I bump into people here in South Africa and I hear a little bit of Portuguese, then I also start speaking. Then I'm like, I just speak a little bit. Then they
but
think
I,
I want to speak more, and I'm like, no, fala porco Portuguese, porco.
but what you said about Afrikaans, I also like it because, you know, when you're somewhere out there and you start to speak Afrikaans, you know,
Yes.
my moedertaal, dan kyk die mense dan wonder hulle, wat gaan hier aan, you know?
Maar
So,
mense verstaan jy as jy Afrikaans praat in Germany,
yeah,
in So, and it's also nice. I'll tell you one quick story. We were one day in Perth, and we were at a Target in Perth. So it's like a shop in Perth, like a big shopping mall and a shop there. So we're busy shopping, and we're in one aisle. So I'm with some of my colleagues, and everyone is shopping in different aisles. But for us to know where someone is, we would just start speaking in Zulu. So you'll have someone else respond in Zulu, and you're like, hey, Zama, where are you? And then Zama will be like, I'm coming, in Zulu. And also we can like then just find, like, I've got what I'm looking for, whatever. So as we're speaking, all of a sudden we hear a bit of Afrikaans in the other aisle. And the people, they're busy skinnering daar.
uh-huh.
We watch them, we're like, ja, ons kan julle hoor, mense. Wat sê julle? Julle praat Afrikaans! And we're on the other side of the world. It was so nice. And
It's amazing.
yes, they were so shocked. They were like, normally we can just speak Afrikaans and we can get away with it.
Yeah, that is amazing. So, quickly tell me about traffic. Different places you've gone to, what have you discovered about the traffic situations in different places?
Well, I've discovered that South Africa doesn't have the worst traffic. I used to think but it doesn't. Paris used to be my worst. Paris, we would come off a Paris flight and we would be exhausted and we just want to get to the hotel. And you're tired, you just want to get to the hotel. You'd be stuck in that traffic sometimes for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and the distance is not so bad. So that was the one place that had like really bad traffic for me. And yeah, most places do have traffic. And other places you find the people are really law abiding. Like they don't like jaywalk like some of us do. Like when the robot is red, people stopped and respect that the cars are going. Unlike some of us who just like, well, I'm quickly running across, you know. Yeah. So, but there's still the same things we have, like with people sometimes having road rage on the roads and stuff. There's traffic everywhere, but in some places it's worse than others.
Yeah. Have you found that, for instance, let's say you said Hong Kong, China, that it's a bit like organized chaos, like they call it, compared to what's happening in South Africa? Or
oh, they've got beautiful transport, public transport. Like when I'm in Hong Kong, the public system, the train, it's their train system is like wonderful, and it is on time every time, and it's organized. And as you say, yeah, it does actually, it is a bit like organized chaos because you have people just scurrying everywhere, but people know where they're going.
yeah,
They know where they're going. And also I must say, the underground. Yes, the underground in England as well is also really great. Like once you know how to use it, it's wonderful. You just jump on there, jump off, and it's a great way to explore different places. The traffic in Bombay, yeah, that was hectic, but it was nice to explore it with the tuk-tuk. When you're sitting in that tuk-tuk and it's going along, the fresh air, the people, it's dodging. Sometimes you've got a driver who's just like weaves around worse than the taxi drivers we have here in South Africa. I think every country actually has taxi drivers like we have in South Africa. They just call different things. The tuk-tuk, the black cab drivers in London, the yellow cabs in New York, it's the same.
The motorbike.
Just different names. Yes. Yeah. But it's good to try the different transport systems everywhere you go. Just try it and just get that experience.
So I want to know, Nosy, when you're on the plane and it's quite a long flight, besides thinking about what you're going to eat, what else do you do? What else do you do?
As a passenger or working as crew?
Let's take both.
Okay, well, as crew, I'm working. So I'm at work.
So you don't have a minute for yourself?
Well, we do every now and then. But a lot of people, I think when they look at crew members, they just think we're just these glam waitresses that are in the air. But they don't realize that your life is in my hands, because should anything happen, I'm responsible for your life. They don't realize that at the same time, I'm a doctor in the air. If you get, who do you turn to? It's me. I'm also a therapist in the air, because people fly for different reasons. People fly because they're going to loved ones that maybe are sick. Others have lost loved ones they're going to. Others, people fly because they're going to a job opportunity, but they're leaving loved ones behind. So when they're on their plane, I'm the therapist who is there to make them feel comfortable, make them feel okay, that they're not crying for the 15 hours of wherever they're going, that, you know, they can be relaxed. I'm the one taking care of the elderly people that are flying by themselves, you know, who need help. I'm making sure that I'm someone's mother. When kids fly because of parents being in different countries or they're flying over for holidays, your child is in my hands. I'm that person's mother during that period. I'm Valencia's sister when she's going on holiday and she's scared about what she's going to eat when she gets there. I'm also someone's tour guide when they're going to a new place that they've never been to and they want to know, what should I do when I get to that side? Where do I change money? Or what am I going to eat? What am I going to do? Where's the best place to shop? I'm that tour guide. I'm that dictionary, the directory that has all the information that you want. So during that time, and I'm also, most importantly, I'm a safety officer. So your safety is number one, but all those other roles are also roles that I take on. So as flight attendants, we look fabulous and we look glam when we're walking through the airport, pulling our bags there, shaking through the airport. But you must know that on the flight, we are literally your lifeline. We're every lifeline. And a person sometimes gets on the plane and they think that I've paid for the seat and that's it. But they don't realize that, yes, you pay for the seat, but anything can happen to you. And I'm there to make sure that you're fine. I'm there to do all these roles and we love doing them. It is so nice. I think one of the blessings and one of the things I appreciate about my job is that no 2 days are the same. And I always pray, put a smile on someone's face today, because I can be the difference in someone's life wherever they are. That businessman that's on his laptop or busy and is just dismissive, my smile can change how he sees the world. My smile can be the difference with the stress that he has and the things that, how I treat him is what makes the difference. So as a crew, I'm working and I'm giving you my all during that time. And I'm giving all those other passengers that are there my all. And then as a passenger, when I'm a passenger during that time, that is the time when I am planning my holiday of exactly, do I have everything I need? I'm double checking. That is the time when I am getting a chance to read, to when I go anywhere, I make sure I've got my own entertainment for the plane. So I don't just rely on the plane's entertainment. So that's the time normally I always have a good book with me. When I'm always got a good book with me that I'm reading. And I like that by the time I end a trip, I've finished a book. Then I like blessing someone else with that book when I'm finished it. So when I'm the passenger, that's the time I'm just relaxing and just taking everything in and allowing the excitement to soak in. Because just before you go on a trip as a passenger, sometimes you're rushing. Have I packed everything? Have I checked in on time? Have I found the right boarding gate? I'm going through passport control. Am I at the plane at the right time? Boarding pass. Then you get to your seat, you put your bags in, and you're like, oh. So as a passenger, I use that time to be like, yes, I'm actually going on holiday. Yeah.
That is amazing. I like what you are saying about smiles, how smiles can change people's lives and the way people look at the world. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to you sharing your story. I had one more question. Yeah, first tell me what is the next place you want to go and see, or what is your dream place?
I've got so many.
But I mean, like number one, or let's say the first three on your list.
Well, everywhere in the world is on my list.
Okay.
But I've got so many places I want to go to. So, as I said, I've got Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to go experience Italy. I have to go and eat pizza in Italy and have pasta there. That is an absolute must. I've got, I want to go to Niagara Falls and go and have an adventure in Niagara Falls. That on my bucket list that I have to do. And I want to go to Dubai as well. Not for the shopping. I want to go for the camel ride. That's on my list to go do the camel ride. I have heard so much about Mombasa. I have to go to Mombasa. I have to go and Mombasa. I have to go and experience it there. And I haven't seen enough of Zambia as yet. So I've got quite a few friends that are in Zambia, and they've been telling me, come, Zambia is ready for you. So I also need to go and explore more of Zambia. And also right here in South Africa, I haven't been to explore enough of Limpopo here in South Africa. So I want to go to Limpopo and explore and experience a lot more of it.
That is amazing. Valencia, tell us, where do you want to go?
Oh, I think that would be Brazil.
Yeah.
Definitely Brazil. That's the first place. And secondly, I'd really like to go back to Zanzibar because I feel like my first experience was not, it didn't live up to what it should. So that should be a trip that should be taken again. And Amsterdam, definitely, I want to sing on the streets of Amsterdam because I feel like the way they experience live music is something totally different.
Different.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to Zanzibar with you. Yeah. I'm going to go to Zanzibar with you, girl. Yeah.
I think we all can go to Zanzibar.
Yeah.
If you're watching, kindly let me know where in the world you want to go to. I see Jennifer says Israel. She wants to go to Israel. Maybe if you're watching, let me know, where do you want to go? I want to go to Australia, Perth. So I found it so exciting. It's not even Sydney, it's Perth. And then obviously France and, Rome and Germany and Spain and Portugal and, so I think also everywhere's on my list.
When you go to Perth, go swim with the dolphins.
Is it?
And go to Rockness Island as well. Yes, go swim with the dolphins in Perth.
Okay, what island?
Rockness Island.
Oh, okay, great. I'll write that one down. So tell us, where do you want to go to? We're about to round up. I have one more question for Nosy. When you're out there and you are busy taking pictures or making a video, how does it feel taking pictures and you putting the camera away and just having mental pictures? Obviously, there's a benefit of you taking pictures, but what do you prefer? I see Kali wants to go to Jamaica. So if you're watching, let us know where you want to go. So back to Nosy, how do you view taking pictures while you're there? I know there's a benefit, but what is the experience like? Yeah.
I think I take the advice when I started flying. One of my colleagues, Signy Madonzela, he said to me, if I can give you one piece of advice, is live in the moment of wherever you are. And yes, you can take a picture, and people say a picture says 1,000 words. But when you actually take a moment to take in wherever you are, that picture lives with you, and that memory lives with you for a lifetime. And that's that I feel just doesn't necessarily translate onto pictures, because when you think of that memory, like when I think of some of the places I've been to, you can still feel the vibe of how does my skin feel, like I was excited, or you can feel the traffic noise you were hearing, or you can feel the roar of Victoria Falls that you were hearing. When you take that picture, it's not the same. In the memory, you can still hear the roar, you can feel maybe the anxiety of you before you are getting on that chuk-chuk and you're going into the streets. So some of those, I think for me, the best pictures are the ones that I have in my memory bank. Those ones are they're priceless. The ones that I have in my memory bank are priceless. The ones that I take for social media or to show other people that I've been here, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I've treasured that piece of knowledge of just be in the moment of wherever you are. Because even with people that I've met on planes, like I've met dignitaries, I've met celebrities, I've met the ordinary person who's had an impact in my life just by maybe the things they said to me then, or had I not been in that moment and been present in that moment, that picture would have meant nothing. That actual picture that I've taken would have meant nothing. But when you actually just enjoy that moment that you're in, that makes all the difference. That for me is the best.
A friend of mine told me that also, but I also love taking pictures, but I also love living in the moment and having fun. I see Federica says no specific destination anywhere in the world will do for now. Yes, I want to see and experience Vic Fall. That is Federica. Now we have come to the end of tonight's session. Oh, I didn't want to say goodbye because then it means I have to leave the flight. And, and I'm enjoying myself so much because I've been to Hong Kong tonight, China, Brazil, Perth, obviously. So, I will go and watch this again. And I want to say thank you to Nosy for coming and sharing your life with us. That's actually your life. It's not just an experience. And thank you to Valencia. I know tonight probably we're not going to sleep. We're just going to hang in that vibe, and dream. And I see my husband, he was also watching. So, I hope that he'll come with me on these trips, because it's also wonderful traveling together. So Nosy, just a last word from your side, concluding remark, what you can tell our viewers out there, and then Valencia, also you.
There's a beautiful saying that I love, which is, we travel not to escape life, but that so life doesn't escape us. And that's just what I want to leave everyone with. Whether you're traveling to the borders, a short left, or the borders just around the corner from your own country or your own city, or just exploring your own city, or you're going to faraway shores. Just remember, we travel not to escape life, but just so life doesn't escape us. Travel is a very important part of living, loving life, and enjoying life. And I just say, live and enjoy life. Live, don't just exist.
Awesome stuff there. I like what you are saying. We travel not to escape life. I think one of the things that also speaks to me in any place or airport I come to is the billboards. And there's actually a scripture in the Bible that says that the word is at the gate. So you'll find all these billboards, and I think it's in Joburg. There was a billboard a few years back that talks about, if you travel far, I don't know, maybe you can help me out, don't go alone. Or if you travel near, it's a giraffe that's there, and it talks about, if you go far, don't go alone, something like that.
I think it's the one where when you travel alone, I will get back to you.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't get the wording of it right. I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it as well. I think it has something to say with, no, it's lost. If you
Yeah.
travel far, you'll go alone somewhere in the line.
Yeah, something like that. But that's one thing. Look at the billboards. There's always something speaking to you. There's a message for you out there at the gates. And Valencia, your final words, just word of encouragement to people that want to travel and enjoy life and have fun.
I think when you travel, you meet different versions of yourself.
Oh, yes.
Like
Mm,
that's something I've experienced every time I've boarded a plane or even gotten on road travel, is that you meet different versions of yourself that don't actually come out when you're just in your normal zone of doing things. So when you travel to a different place, you just meet a different you and you're like, oh, I didn't know I was like that. Oh, so this is my approach to A, B, and C. So that is always a very exciting thing for me. I'm always looking forward to meet the version of me that I haven't met before. Yeah, so I would encourage people to do that.
Yeah, I
that
love that.
that is amazing. I love how you put it, Valencia. But Jennifer Beaver is helping us out with that saying. She says it's like, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you
Yes.
want to go far, go with
Love
people.
it. Yes. That's
So
it.
thank you, Jenny. Thank you for sharing that. That is the one that I've seen at Joburg, and it was quite an interesting one. Now, I want to thank you, viewers, for watching. I see my husband wants to go with his wife to Zanzibar. I'll be on that flight, my dear. Don't worry. We're going to have fun there. Thank you so much for being on board with us tonight. We were just all up in the air, but now we're going to slowly go down. And it's time to dream. We're not in lockdown, our minds are free. It's time to just save up. The moment the borders are opening up, I am out of this place for a
Yes.
while. So thank you so much. Jennifer says it's an African proverb.
Mm.
Thank you very much. I see Auntie Mimi, Milani, thank you for watching. Jennifer, Federica, Kali, Maggie Brand, yes, thank you for watching tonight. Nosy, don't go out yet, out of the meeting room. I just want to go offline and then I'll just chat with you 2 more minutes. Viewers, good evening. It has been a lovely evening and lovely sessions. I have been enjoying myself. I don't know about you. And next week is our last session. It's all about marriage, relationships. I can't wait. So have a lovely evening. God bless you. Bye bye.
Bye.